Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me in this hell is Ben.
Yeah, what's up? What's up? I'm not tired. I'm not sleepy.
God damn it.
Oh.
You did this to me. I was planning. I went to bed at like 3 a.m. and I was planning on sleeping until like at least 10, maybe 11, possibly 12. And I wake up and I see there's a notification on my phone, and you were like, "When you're up, do you want a podcast?" So I assume that you did some sort of demonic contract that reached out across the ether and dragged me from the land of slumber.
I think you did that to yourself, and it was that sandwich you ordered.
No. But that sandwich was... I need to fucking... I hate that a simple 1 a.m. Subway order had to go so terribly wrong. I shouldn't need to contact my bank afterwards.
Whoa.
I mean, they charged me for 2 sandwiches and then sent me one and then said, "Enjoy your one sandwich." Like, the post notification shit had the right price that it should have been if I got one sandwich. But the initial charge was still for the 2 sandwiches, and they haven't I thought maybe there would be like a delayed money back thing. So I gave it till morning, but it's not arrived. So, I mean, easy enough. But it's like, guys, come on. There can't be that many people ordering subs at 1 a.m. Maybe there is. I don't know. Maybe that's like Subway's prime time in the city. I don't know.
Their cake food that they call a sandwich.
Their cake food? Oh,
Yeah, Subway bread is like, technically it's actually cake.
I mean, yeah, that checks out. Absolutely checks out.
I think their meat is not the meat they say it is also.
That shit might be different here though, because those different food standards or whatever.
Maybe.
Could be. It depends on how badly people want the authentic Subway experience.
Yeah. Anyway, we're talking about comedy
That's what we've been doing.
and sports.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. So this was like, I guess we should say like more specifically what we were. What we watched.
It's 2 sports mockumentaries that were both directed by Jake Szymanski and written by Murray Miller and starring Andy Samberg and produced by Andy Samberg. They're both made for HBO. 7 Days in Hell came out in 2015 and Tour de Pharmacy came out in 2017. And their 7 Days in Hell is a 50-minute tennis mockumentary about the greatest tennis match of all time, and Tour de Pharmacy is a mockumentary about the 1982 Tour de France,
Yes.
where everyone but 5 people get eliminated for performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah. So part of these gave me like, I mean, just due to the nature of how they exaggerated shit, I was getting such major, fuck, why can't I remember the name of it? Hang on, give me one. What's the actual name of the football thing we read? The year 2020. Football in the future.
Oh yeah, like 17.
Yeah,
776.
I could only remember the years. I can't remember what the if there's like a title with it. It gave me those vibes because they're like a 7-day tennis match. I'm like, yeah, that sounds perfect.
What football will look like in the future?
What football will look like in the future? Yeah.
because that was the like headline when they posted it just to look like a normal news story
Yeah.
or whatever.
Right.
Sports blog.
So good. But yeah, it got those like same kind of vibes. It was great. I enjoyed these.
I love 7 Days in Hell in particular.
Yes.
7 Days in Hell I think is brilliant. Tour de Pharmacy is like they made another one kind of vibes, where like that one was successful enough that let's bring in more celebrities and
Yeah.
do it bigger. But 7 Days in Hell I think is actually fucking magic.
7 Days in Hell is really good. God, I was losing my fucking mind. I forget who's I have the Wikipedia article open. What am I doing? Kit Harington as Charles.
Yeah, Jon Snow.
Do I look like someone who's there's a good chance that some people here are here because I didn't watch Game of Thrones. I don't know who the hell Kit Harington is.
Okay, I'm just letting you know.
Oh, you mean Eret? You mean Eret? Snow. You mean Eret from
Star
How to
of
Train Your
Game of
Dragon?
Thrones.
No, he's Eret from How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay.
Name a thing that actually.
I mean, honestly, he's Charles Poole from 7 Days in Hell.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, anything else to me because this is his finest performance.
It's
such
really
a good job.
It's really fucking
playing
good.
a fucking moron.
Yeah, indubitably. His interview with the dude who's like having him lift his shirt and just smoking the cigarette. I was fucking rolling, dude. Like I was legitimately like dying. It was so good. Like just the delivery was so perfect. Just, it was just amazing. It was a good time. God,
are you afraid of your mother? She's just sitting there.
God. So, yeah, I don't even know where to start. There's a lot to unpack.
So, yeah. So our first character is Aaron Williams.
Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg. The fictional brother of Serena and Venus Williams.
Right,
They
yeah.
describe it as a reverse Blind Side. Whereas instead of a black kid getting adopted by a white family and being made to play football, it's a white kid getting adopted by a black family and made to play tennis.
Yeah.
He's the bad boy of tennis. Doesn't play country club tennis because he's from the streets, man.
Yeah.
And he has hilarious, terrible hair.
Yeah, his hair was fucking... Dude, yeah. They just got his fucking denim tennis outfit. The white denim. It's so good. It's absolutely amazing.
So his tennis career comes to an end because he's like about to win Wimbledon, and then he accidentally kills a man.
Yeah.
The way the way they like perfectly capture the like pacing of like a sports. I don't know if you have any sports documentaries you've seen, or like ESPN 30 for 30s. HBO will also do them.
Somehow, I mean, not even somehow, I've literally never seen a sports documentary that I can recall, but also I know the pacing of us. Like, this felt authentic.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Collective knowledge.
It's... Yeah, it nails that so well, but also it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, just like, oh no, he went down. You knew right away he was dead.
God. Yeah, yeah.
Announcers like, if the pressure of Wimbledon wasn't enough, now he's got a dead body on his hands. Goes to serve. Dude, and the audience yells, "Murderer!"
God. And then the Duke, he pushes the Duke.
He pushed the Duke.
That scream.
It said later tennis.
Yeah, yeah. That's not how
You
someone
got-
retires.
Yeah. Serena Williams like, nobody thought he would actually retire because that's a weird way to retire. Later tennis?
Man, the Swedish underwear line, male underwear line,
It's
with your
Swedish
balls hanging
underwear,
out.
Where it's like, they're like look at the framing on the underwear, and then it cuts his pants down, and the dude's balls are literally just right there.
Everything else is nice and secure, but the balls are, they gotta
Just
they gotta breathe.
hanging free. They gotta breathe, dude. These movies are really good at like penis, like showing you the penis humor. Like,
Yeah.
they have the ability to do that, and they just go for it.
Oh yeah, no, they hang dong. They don't shy away.
No.
What is the? I'm having trouble finding it, and maybe the Wikipedia article just doesn't elaborate on it much. They did this in both films, but I feel like maybe a little bit more in Tour de Pharmacy. What was the? Do you remember the subject that they like digress on? Like
In this one, it's the courtroom paintings.
right, yeah, the courtroom paintings. Yeah. The
Dude who's like
so fucking good.
draws these courtroom paintings as wonderful, like Disney
Yeah. They're like
drawings
anthropomorphic foxes and
anthropomorphic
shit.
animals, and
So good. Anyone who got into courtroom painting got into it because of this guy.
because of him. And then he decides he's gonna go to space.
Yeah, he builds the fucking rocket.
He builds a rocket. It's like, they have better whips.
Oh right, yeah,
is
he
it?
wanted to find like better food or something, or
Better
prettier
food, better women, crazier drugs.
women. Yeah. And it explodes, and
And then it just explodes
just-
on impact. Anyway.
they just move on. It's so good.
Yeah. And all, like, these people who are, like, everybody just knows was, like, all about this courtroom painting guy. Like, the sports analysts or whatever.
Yeah.
Just the whole pacing of that, of just, like, why? What's going on here?
And then he has a bad Andy Samberg's character, Aaron, has a really bad first match against his rival. The next day he mysteriously is just destroying him, possibly with the help of cocaine that is found literally everywhere.
On the lines of the court. In his water bottle. On his wristbands.
Him-
along the
him-
court.
Yeah, his wristband is like covered in blood from his nose. The dude,
It's like, we all knew he was doing cocaine, but, in England, it's very
Impoli-
rude to point things out.
yeah, it's rude to point things out. It's so good. Like anything.
Yeah. The fucking, but when he goes to Swedish prison, it's like basically a modern home. And the way
Yeah.
he gets called back is Charles Poole getting asked if he thinks he's better than Aaron Williams. He goes, yeah. And then it cuts to a CG reenactment of the all-male gay orgy that he was participating in
Yeah. Yeah.
prison. A
lot of dong.
Dolph Lundgren talking about it.
I don't know who that is. I know who you're
he's from
talking
Rocky IV.
about.
The actor is Ivan Drago in Rocky IV,
Okay.
the Russian Superman.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay. He did 80s action movies too.
I wasn't alive in the 80s, therefore I know nothing about them. Has he
That's
done?
why you should know everything about them, because people won't shut up about it.
I literally don't know. Like, I mean, oh, why didn't you say he was in Fat Slags in 2004? Why didn't you fucking mention?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, the cut to like in the reenactment of Charles Poole saying yeah, and then all the erections go down, all the comically oversized CGI dicks.
Yeah,
melt with
yeah.
a little whew cartoon sound effect. And then Aaron Williams escapes from a Swedish prison, and by Swedish law, he is now a free man.
Yeah. God.
Ugh.
Oh, I forgot his. Wait, is that why did he go to prison because his? I know
Because
the
of
the underwear line was like the chafing was was like scarring everybody's balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he goes to jail.
Okay. Okay.
Charles Poole
Yeah,
was a child prodigy. There's a
but also
video of him as a tiny bit child not being good at tennis. And him saying, I don't like tennis. And his mom going, you've got to be the best, Charles. Mommy won't love you if you're second best.
Yeah. And she found nobody, you don't want education to cut into sport time. So she found like, what was it, a special vocational school that like
Well, vocational, like at homeschooling
Oh, right.
to become a truck driver.
Yeah, doing like knowing nothing except the word indubitably.
Yes. Somebody taught him the word indubitably, and then he has an interview where he just keeps saying that over and over again. I love it's in the trailer for this movie, and then they do it in the over the credits. It's one of like the extra shots when he's being interviewed by I'm forgetting her name, but for the Brian Gumble show, and he's like, he calls her Brian Gumble, and she's like, I'm not Brian Gumble, and then he's like, oh, I'm on the wrong show, and then she explains that the show is called Real Sports with Brian Gumble, but she's not Brian Gumble, and then he's like, indubitably. It's a good joke. Indubitably. I really like his interactions with the Queen of England.
Yeah.
Particularly her
a lot of
fucking
pressure.
drunk dial of him.
Which message was that? Was that like the second?
When
or
she's
the
saying
third?
fuck slut.
Oh yeah. You stupid bitch. That pressure though, the pressure gets to him, because it was, there hadn't been a English Wimbledon champion for like
It's 1937 or
something like that.
so.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
Queen is like putting
like,
putting the pressure on.
they cut to like ESPN Films coverage of him saying, that was the Queen. What did she say? She wanted me to win. Like this fucking simplicity of it.
Yeah. And then she like comes into the elevator and fucks him up with the cane.
She just beats him, and then he's like complaining to his mom.
Yeah, oh
She's
right,
just like,
yeah. He calls
well,
his mom, like, Mom, the Queen of England was there in the elevator.
She hit me in the chest where the bruises wouldn't show.
Yeah,
Well, you
yeah,
deserve it, Charles.
Where the bruises would have.
I've never loved you,
God, it's
and if
so
you don't
good.
win, I never will.
Unbelievable.
Uh,
And then we learned that the Wimbledon is played. What is it? How many games? It doesn't fucking say.
you have to win by 2.
Right, you have to win by 2. So in theory, it could go forever. It's kind of scary.
for someone like me who doesn't like tennis.
Yeah, that's
They come back to him at the end, and he's like, "It would have been tragic if this were a football player or
yeah.
basketball players, but it was tennis players. Who cares?" So a thing I will say is like an added reason I really love this movie is having actually like watched Wimbledon tennis, and like my favorite matches were these matches that were just like endless. They would just go on for so long. That's like actually a thing.
Ugh.
Not, extra days long,
Well,
But-
yeah.
but like definitely into extra innings. And part of like the pure joy of it for me was just like it's hilarious that this is still going.
I mean, I felt like I forget if it's in the beginning before we like cut back to the story, the pre-story or whatever, or if it's after we get back to the big match. But I think it's in the beginning, and Charles like scores a point or whatever, and he's like deuce, and Aaron's just like, we all know it's deuce. You don't have to say it. Like, I feel like that's just what tennis players are thinking at that point.
That's all like every
Just getting
salty
super-
player playing
Yeah.
an online game too.
You were killed by this person. Yeah. I know. I was there. I lived it. The volley where they were like just getting super close to the net, and it was just going back and forth, and they're like on the ground.
When they just hit everything, that
then-
volley is so good.
And then they throw their rackets. God, what a good fucking exchange.
Because I like the thing that I do think makes this movie work better than Tour de Pharmacy is that like they do sell this as the greatest tennis match of all time.
Yeah.
It's not like that. This is just a tennis match. This is the best tennis match. So, you have your parts where Aaron Williams is like sucks, and then the parts where like he becomes great. It's just unbelievable.
There is a 3-way on the tennis court.
Yeah.
You might wonder like how could this be allowed to go on? Well, there's really nothing in the rules that says anything about not being able to have sex for 4 hours on the court.
All we could do is watch.
All we could do is watch. Oh, God.
Yeah.
And then the
One streaker comes out.
the
Starts
first
fucking, he makes out with her, and then they have sex,
she eats her out for an hour.
and they just high five.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, high fiving her. Right. Like the repeated high fives. Fuck. And then the second streaker is a dude. Oh,
Yeah.
He's kissing the female streaker, and now he's kissing the male streaker, and now he's forcing the streakers to kiss, or making them kiss or whatever. So that took away a whole day. He bought himself some time.
You got Charles standing over there with a obvious erection, and then later just lying on the ground face down.
Oh my God. See, that was kind of like maybe that was like the moment where it like gave me a Future of Football vibes when they were like, "There's nothing in the rules against it." Like nobody said that. You can't.
Dog can't play basketball.
Yeah, exactly. It was. Oh, that's fucking right. He gets Charles hits Aaron with a semi truck.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is these one of the rivals was a truck driver, and the other one got hit by a truck.
That's after he declares that he's found his birth father and that he's actually British.
Right? Yeah.
So he takes away the
only thing,
the British thing from Charles Poole, even though it's a complete lie.
Yeah. What did he say his fucking name was? Oh, his birth father. His birth father, Engelbert Humperdinck. Oh,
England's two sons, even though one of them wasn't actually British.
David,
and then the David Copperfield thing.
Yeah, what was he supposed to be? He materializes on the court on Aaron's shoulders.
He's supposed to be on the Statue of Liberty.
Right.
He materializes on Charles's shoulders.
Oh,
and
Charles'
is
shoulders,
all
man.
nervous that a wizard is like just gonna appear on him again. It's David Copperfield. But Aaron, and it's been established that Aaron and David Copperfield are great friends. Was it David Copperfield's lines like making money and smashing pussy or something?
Something like that. Yeah. The fucking the bit that was like the sex tape thing was good, and then you find out that like it's just a video of him getting rejected.
Well, it's a video of him not being able to get it up.
Yeah, but then at the end he's like he wants to do the high five thing, and she's just like not about it. Like it's just a shit video, but dude doesn't watch it, so he gets upset anyway.
Yeah. If he had watched the video, maybe he wouldn't have been so mad.
Yeah. God.
Like, they interview her, and she's like, I just thought he wouldn't ever want to see that video. It was so embarrassing for him.
Yeah. Right. I think that's. I mean, like then it.
Yeah. There's like the press conference where they're together, and it's like bro versus mate, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Aaron Charles like keeps trying to make out with him, and then like pulling back. And then we get Aaron Williams' reveal that he's wearing a wig.
Right. Yeah. Baldness, which honestly makes the hair even better. Like he could have had any hair in the world. Fucking. Yeah.
And then we get a great moment at the end, the Godzilla 2014 reference, where the Queen of England says, "Let them fight." And they charge each other and double KO.
Yeah, they both go for the neck with their rackets.
Both die. Like, they lived to play tennis against each other. They died playing tennis against each other. It only seemed right to bury them in the same coffin.
They're like shoved in. Just on their side. Yeah.
It's so good.
The fucking end, like crushed it though. Where they're like, he's my idol. Like, do I hate him? No, I don't hate him or whatever. But like, hate and love are just two sides of the same coin. Oh,
that should be the last shot of my doc.
Yeah, if I die. God, it was such a good little thing, like the perfect length.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The fact that it got to be like just a 50-minute movie, like they just literally crammed in all the best, cut it to just the best jokes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so fucking funny the whole way through.
Yeah, it's
I love that scene that's also in the credits of Charles trying to take a drink of water, and just
I didn't.
he just like throws it against. So he goes. He's like,
I didn't see
"Excuse me,
that.
I need water," and he's like shaking as he pours it, and he just throws it against the wall, and then just starts falling over everything and knocking everything over.
Fuck, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's really good. He has to take a drink of water and just flings it against the wall. Good physical comedy.
Yeah, no, it's it's a strong recommend as long as you're not offended by boobs or dongs or balls,
Yeah,
especially balls.
particularly balls. Yeah, balls you get right up in there.
They get just a in your face action shot.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then we have Tour de Pharmacy, which is pretty good, but not
It's
as good.
yeah, it's a for me it was like a pretty like it's not really close.
Yeah, no.
Like 7 Days in Hell is much better.
I agree. It also has more Andy Samberg in it. Like Tour de Pharmacy
Yes,
is definitely
yeah.
like the bloated, like we have a lot more commentators, a lot more cameos. Like it's really built. The thing that it's really built around is like that they get Lance Armstrong,
Yeah.
who's like the most famous cyclist who also got hit completely busted for doping.
Yeah,
And they get him to be like to like pretend to be like one of those like hidden interviews, and they just keep showing you more and more of him.
Yeah, and he
So that
still
like
thinks
it
it's anonymous.
really was built around the shock value of that he agreed to do that.
Yeah. There was like I just before we started, I just saw the thing on Wikipedia where someone was like, you know, is this okay to include him because he was responsible for this sports tarnishing? I'm like, it's fucking amazing because everybody was on drugs, so who gives a fuck? And also he wore a fur coat and a cowboy hat. It was cool as hell. I think it's legitimately the best part of the film.
Yeah.
Are you sure no one will recognize me, guys? Yeah, well, I'm glad I could just say whatever I want. It like comes up with his name at the end.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Totally
If
anonymous.
there's any doubt. I really like the first one of like just he pulls out his phone, lights up his face. He's like, "Yeah, that was my lawyer. He really doesn't think I should be doing this."
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Did you like turn on the light? No, I opened a window. It's really nice outside.
It's just so nice out. They put to disguise him, they put a helmet on him. It's like, don't you think I'm more recognizable with the helmet on?
Yeah,
that
so
changes.
this one,
Yeah.
I don't know. This one kind of also the part that gave me in this movie, the part that gave me the future football vibes was when they were all trying to go the slowest.
Uh-huh. Because they're trying to draft, but then since there are only 5 of them left, nobody wants to be the one who's working, so they're just going the slowest. And you're like, and this part of the race was really boring.
Yeah. And then
Like, I do think part of the reason I think this movie works less also is, like, the drama of the Tour de France is not that compelling.
yeah.
So they have to do more stuff to try and fill that space, because it's not, you don't have like the drama of literally 2 people who are just like enduring against each other or whatever.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we'll get there, but for me also the
6 racers.
the ending was fairly predictable. I thought.
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. that the character that gives up is the one who
As
finishes.
soon as the dude like is married and becomes like a French dairy farmer, I'm like, okay, well, he's clearly going to.
Also, the thing I'll say about this is there's a John Boy's video about this, but he did a video about this Olympic race one year, or like this or the Boston Marathon or something. I forget exactly what it was. It's kind of a crazier story than the one they make up for this. Where like that one also, the person who won it like quit the race, got in a car, got driven to near the end, and then just started running. And he's the one, and then everybody cheered because he crossed the finish line.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And the guy that did win was like it. So the guy who was like running it set up a thing where, as an experiment, he wanted to limit the amount of water the runners could get. So there was no water available to the runners.
Jesus.
And it was like incredibly hot, so everyone was fucking passing out from dehydration. And like the story of this one guy, he's like running behind his trainers who are in a car, so he's like breathing in car exhaust, and they don't give him water, they just give him whiskey and rat poison.
Jesus.
Like the medicine they're giving him is basically, it's like fucked up. And there's stories about like wild dogs chasing it's a great, like,
I mean, that does sound.
that video. It's better. It's a better fake story than the one they made up for this comedy. Like,
yeah,
it's wild. It's also like it takes place in the 30s or something.
That sounds right. Whiskey and rat poison.
Look up.
Yeah, that sounds like early 20th century.
Yeah. The 1904 St. Louis Olympics.
Okay. Yeah, no, that
That's
checks
a good
out.
video. That's a good video. Yeah. Honestly, my favorite part of this is the character that John Cena is playing, where he's blood doping with cheetah blood.
Yeah, and he can't, and nobody knows if he's saying cheetah or cheater.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Great.
Just because I'm cheetah doesn't mean I'm a cheetah.
Yeah, just because I have cheetah blood in me.
Yeah. That's like my favorite joke probably in this.
Yeah, it was good. I like the I guess it kind of was early and then we came back to it, but the dude who died like after he died with his dick out after going off the cliff.
He was
good.
taking a piss while biking, and they're like, which is a thing cyclists actually do.
And then that's right, he did it like right during the downhill stretch, so nobody knew he was dead, or his heart exploded, and nobody knew for 12 kilometers.
He fell onto the front of his bike, and they're like,
look at his form.
Nobody knew he was dead for
air resistance
kilometers.
eliminating.
It's like, his form, he's gotten so low. And he just goes off a cliff.
Yeah.
And then the list of drugs he was on just keeps filling the screen. Just every drug.
That was really
And then
great.
it ends with Arby's.
Yeah, an Arby's burger or whatever.
Yeah, just Arby's logo.
That was great.
The fucking the guy who's playing like the head of the drug administration, he's like, wait, you've taken amphetamines? It's like, oh yeah, we have to take every drug so we know what we're dealing with. I make paintings for how I feel when I'm on them. You want to see them? And they take the tour of his paintings, and it's like his painting of meth is him giving a blowjob to a bear.
Well, all of them. He's sucking a bear dick, and then I think it was the meth one. The bear is sucking his dick, and he's like, you can see it's quite a different experience.
Yeah.
Pretty classic.
Pretty classy. Classy.
Yeah. I mean, that's that just made me think there was like some. I don't know if they're still doing stuff. Maybe they like got shut down, or they just got to the drugs that are like too fucking like nobody should be doing ever. There's like a YouTube channel. It was like a Dutch girl and a Dutch guy, and they were like trying little bits of like every drug, but I don't know like how far they went. It was like that same like today we're trying LSD, today we're trying like whatever, but I don't know if they got up to like today we're doing a little bit of crystal meth.
I wouldn't. Ugh, that's just such a bad idea.
It just like
yeah. Yeah.
So who was your favorite of like our big five? Who was your favorite like character?
I mean, my favorite thing is
I didn't say
not Andy
favorite
Samberg
thing.
playing that character, but Jeff Goldblum playing that character as older.
Playing the older version.
Yeah, I like the older. Like I like Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Talking about with his giant fake afro. Talking about being number one.
Yeah, I wanted to be the first black something.
Jackie Robinson's nephew. It's like,
Yeah.
they're gonna call him Slim's uncle. Reporter's like, nobody's going to do that.
Before we like learned that he wins or whatever, and he's like, I was the first black French dairy farmer though, number one, baby.
I know how to make cheese.
yeah.
I really like the Mike Tyson segments in this movie.
Yeah,
Where he talks about how he loved bicycling. And then some kid stole his bike and he beat the shit out of him. And he's like, wow, I'm way better at this.
Yeah, and it's like the punch out thing.
Yeah.
Just
their reenactments are like recreating punch out graphics.
Yeah.
There's a part in the credits where they like cut to Joe Buck saying he was like, I stole his bike. I didn't know I was stealing that bike. I just grabbed a bike, and then I got the shit kicked out of me.
No, the post. I guess like the post interview things, like the aged people or like the older versions.
Yeah.
Like that was like good times. Fucking, he's like, I mean, I forget. Let me look at the name. Marty Haas. Like Nigerian cyclist, but also his family just owned like a diamond mine or whatever.
Yeah. He's from Nigeria, but he's like the most spoiled, rich white kid.
Yeah. There's a trigger. I knew a person like that from Hawaii. Just awful. And like they didn't know it. Like totally unaware of it.
Oh man.
Little bit gross.
You've got Legolas himself.
I didn't
fucking the dude who dies while peeing.
I legitimately did not recognize that was Orlando Bloom. Like I didn't connect it in my fucking head. He was not a pirate or an elf, so it can't possibly be him.
It's really his finest role, honestly.
I mean, indubitably. There's a lot. Holy shit! There's like a lot of people I didn't know that. I recognized John Cena, but I did not know it was him. Like he looked familiar, but I couldn't put a name to it. I somehow always forget that Jeff Goldblum is himself. Like I recognize him, I know him, but I just always I can never connect the face to the name for some reason. Kevin Bacon I didn't recognize, and I'll be real with you. I thought it was like a weird like uncanny valley because I'm like, I really think that's Ethan Hawke, but also it's not Ethan Hawke. But I think it is, but it's not. I couldn't. It was like fucking with my brain.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
They are different people, as it turns out.
Yeah. Like who would have known? Yeah, like done. I recognize so many of these
Abrams
names.
shows up. Talks about French cycling footage. How great it is.
Oh yeah, the black and white bit or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And they play it backwards sometimes.
So I'm trying to think like who my favorite cyclist was overall.
I like fucking Rex Honeycutt when he's like, "Oh, I'm just getting word that since I registered for the race and have been doing it the whole time, that I'm eligible to win."
Oh yeah, yeah.
The reporter who's been writing the whole thing with the top rider, like cyclist, but also holding a microphone and like trying to interview them. That was a good bit. It's honestly disappointing how that one ends, where he gets tackled and then dies.
Yeah. Yeah. Head on the rock. That was yeah.
And I just don't love the Adrian Baton cross-dressing storyline. That one, it's just not that funny.
Yeah, it felt like it had more potential. Like it didn't. I don't know. It kept it too tame, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know like what you would. I don't have a better idea for it. I just know that this
no totally.
Was, like,
it's just
underused.
like, I'm judging this based on like,
yeah.
Am I laughing super hard at it? No. It wasn't that funny.
Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, I wish I would have watched this one first. Coming hot off of 7 Days in Hell, like.
It's honestly, I didn't have a better pairing for 7 Days in Hell, really.
I mean, that's.
And this is like literally, it was made because 7 Days in Hell was so good.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely the pairing you do. It's just.
Yeah.
It was also
no. It's like definitely not as good, but it's worth watching.
Mm-hmm. 7 Days in Hell was longer. This one was 40 minutes. This one felt longer.
Yeah. Yep.
Dragged.
It feels longer, but is shorter. That is accurate. Like, this one's only 40 minutes, and they're stretching.
yeah. They could have easily cut this shit to like 30 minutes, maybe less.
What was the digression in this one? I don't even remember.
They had a lot of little ones.
Yeah. Oh, there was the fucking banking commercial where the dude drops the milk.
Right.
He has to like go down on his wife while she's drinking milk.
Yeah, like as payback or something. They're discussing like whether or not it counts as like, or something. Like, has the debt been paid? There was I mean, the J.J. Abrams stuff, kind of.
Yeah. Kind of.
I guess
They're
it was
still at least talking about cycling.
Yeah, I guess it is the. I guess it is the milk commercial, or the banking commercial.
That's still kind of. I don't know. It's still kind of related. I don't remember. I feel like there's something else.
There definitely. I think there's definitely something else, but the world will never know.
It's already left my brain.
Yeah.
And I've watched this movie more than once.
I don't have
I've
an
watched
excuse.
7 Days in Hell more times, I'll say.
I mean,
Like
that
7 Days in
makes
Hell
sense.
is like actually like my favorite comedy of this century.
Wow,
Like,
that's a
I think it just, I did the math on it like since the year 2000. I went through like all the comedies. I'm like, I think 7 Days in Hell is my favorite. It's really fucking
Interesting.
funny.
I mean, I could kind like. It's definitely up there. I mean, I'm not gonna do it on the spot, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know what else it would be.
And like pure comedy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I
Like I
could
think
see
the
it.
fact that, and I do think the fact that it only has 50 minutes really helps in terms of comedic movies because
Oh yeah,
there's no bloat.
yeah, yeah. There's no bullshit.
Yeah. There really isn't like a bit in it that doesn't work for me. Although the way there is in Tour de Pharmacy, which is even shorter. So, you know, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
I
more.
suppose.
More. It's like Tour de Pharmacy is like this shit is hard. It's like 7 Days in Hell. It's all the more impressive.
Yeah,
Also, just like for me, 7 Days in Hell really does hit a sweet spot of making fun of like an element of sports that I care about. It's also kind of like these movies of kind of like I can't watch documentaries. Like mockumentaries, these mockumentaries like nail the formula so fucking well. I kind of can't take the regular ones seriously that like just do that formula.
yeah.
I kind of can't watch them anymore.
That makes sense. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't do many documentaries to begin with that are like anything but like nature. Like I'll do a nature doc.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
sometimes a science
I will
one,
say, the thing I do watch is John Boy's videos,
but yeah,
and those are kind of
I mean,
sports
that's-
documentaries.
yeah,
But they also have a different. They're not like this.
yeah,
They're not. They don't have interview segments.
yeah, yeah.
They have a different quality, which works better. Like I was, he just there's just a new video came out today that was it's about all the times that like they've tracked in Major League Baseball where the count was wrong. So like all the times somebody like walked on 3 balls or got struck out on 2 strikes.
How the fuck does that happen?
Or like there were like 35 examples total, I think.
Actually,
And like most of them are more recent because there's the footage. Because like unless it was written down back then, it's way harder to it's like impossible to find those older. So
oh yeah,
presumably it's happened that's like that number is wrong, but those were the numbers that they knew about.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's how the fuck else are you
But
gonna...
for it to, it's wild to see the footage of it where like people like all these people are right here and they fail to count to fucking 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's
It's like-
wild.
It's I recommend it.
Oh, it sounds good.
It's a good time.
Yeah, I think this ultimately, it could have been. I'm trying to think. It might be true that this film could have been about any other sport, and I might have enjoyed it more. Like I just can't bring myself to give a shit about cycling, really.
Yeah.
I'm like golf. Golf would have been fine. Baseball, great. Football, hell yeah. Like,
Yeah. No. I mean, this movie only exists because they got fucking Lance Armstrong to agree to this.
Yeah.
Really.
yeah,
That's the thing. That's like the thing that holds this movie together as existing, as being like worth making.
I can't believe that review or whatever was like, is this a good decision? Like, yeah, it's a fucking great decision. What are you talking about?
It's the only possible decision. It's better than Lance Armstrong like trying to make a comeback to in like a serious way, which I think he's also done since making this, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't like. He was done dirty. I think done dirtier than he should have been.
It is one of those things where the backlash was so strong because people fucking built him up higher than they should have built him up.
Well, yeah, that's not his fault.
A great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of his, because it was like he definitely played into it, like in that, because that was ego stuff.
Sure.
But that is a thing with a lot of like sports figures that get like, we want to like deify them, and then when they fuck up, we want to tear them down. Like, I think like Tiger Woods, I think, is a better example of someone who got kind of done dirty because like he cheated on his wife. Like, it was a shitty thing, but like, and then the reason like it took people so long to forgive him is because then he got in a car accident and was bad at golf for a long time again.
Yeah.
Or couldn't play golf. Like, it's also that like the public's ability to forgive athletes depends on them being good at the sport again. Mm-hmm. It really has nothing to do with them becoming a better person. It has to do with them being impressive at the thing they're good at once more.
Yeah,
and then they go, oh, right. You were good at that thing. That's why we cared.
I mean, people deify these athletes, but I mean, they're not. Maybe it's fine if they deify them. The problem is they're the Greek gods or the Norse gods. They will fuck a horse and then come back and say that they don't know where the 12-legged horse came from that's now running around. Yeah. It happens.
I also don't there's a thing in the way that like steroids in baseball get talked about, where like all the sports writers want to like condemn the people that like they built up throughout their like that baseball writers were not questioning enough at the time when they should have been, and then just want to hold it against those players like after the fact. It's like, maybe you could have said something like when Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa were hitting all those home runs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would take you seriously. Because it was pretty fucking obvious at the time, and I was a child.
Man. I mean, I remember, when did Mark McGwire get hit?
Like
when did he get caught? Officially.
Kind of like, I don't know, actually. I don't know that he ever necessarily even did.
Mark McGwire was in that.
The stories after the fact. Like, I know Sammy Sosa also got caught with like a corked bat at one point. Like, his bat broke and there was cork in it, which is cheating. A way to make your balls fly farther.
Yeah.
But also, Mark McGwire like became a coach for the Cardinals.
The only Mark McGwire was like so I was super little, and Mark McGwire was like my favorite baseball player, whatever. But I didn't watch baseball. My uncle would just talk about how great he was. I'm like, well, if I only know one baseball player, I guess he's my favorite. So,
like, the bigger thing is like, you just look at the stats from that time. Like, literally every team had someone who was hitting 50 home runs.
Yeah,
like,
checks out.
Just like players you didn't know about that were just like, their numbers were crazy.
Yeah,
but it kind of didn't matter. My favorite baseball player who was definitely on steroids was Roger Clemens.
I have
He
no
just
idea.
threw really hard. He was on the Yankees.
What about Barry Bonds?
Even though I was a Mets fan.
Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, so he had a Hall of Fame career, and then he got way bigger and became a baseball god. like there's a John Boyce video about like if Barry Bonds had walked to the plate without a bat, how good would he have been? And like the statistical answer was almost as good. Because it was basically like at his peak, it was like he's gonna hit a home run or you're gonna walk him. It's like those are like the two outcomes. It was crazy because he was a really great baseball player that then super did steroids.
Oh, okay.
And became
That's
absurd. Yeah,
just making.
But like
sure.
he was already really good at baseball.
Yeah.
He was a Hall of Fame player earlier in his career when he was a much skinnier human and had a smaller head. And then he became unstoppable.
The people were just like, yeah, that checks. That checks out.
It's just kind of a shame because history then forgets Hank Aaron. Because Hank Aaron, all stories around Hank Aaron are amazing. And,
I don't know who that is.
He was a previous holder of the home run record. Before the Mark Wire, and he was black and dealt with crazy racism when he was going through it. But he's also just a great interview and storyteller. He also has run runs a baseball team at some point. Went on to become an executive.
Gotcha. Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, Hank Aaron is very cool. I think he died last month. That's what I was seeing old interviews surface with him.
Okay.
When that happened.
Yeah.
He had a great story about getting a call from Nixon.
I mean, why? What was the call?
Well, because he had
was it like a Queen of England situation?
Record.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
It was Nixon inviting him to the White House, and he's like, "Well, I couldn't get there fast enough." He didn't like Nixon or want to go there anyway.
Yeah.
It was a David Letterman interview.
Nice.
If people want to look it up. Yeah, movies.
I definitely recommend 7 Days in Hell to anybody.
Yeah, 7 Days in Hell. Strong recommend. The thing is I do feel like my connection to tennis does make it better for me. So I get if people don't think it's the greatest comedy of this century the way I do.
Yeah.
But it is really good.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty. I mean, there's so many angles, right? It's making fun of documentaries, it's making fun of tennis. There's enough there for everybody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got good dick jokes.
Lots of good dick jokes. Yeah. Hang dong. The hang scrotes. There was a
CGI penis hitting stuff when he's running
right,
out of
yeah, and
prison
his dick is fucking
flop,
huge.
It's just fucking whacking shit.
Yeah, back and forth. I fucking forgot about that. That was a good bit. It's like a 4-foot dick, just flopping
around. A lot.
God, what a good bit. I totally forgot about that scene.
Fucking Charles was so dim, and Aaron was so bad at getting up. Their defining characteristics.
Yeah.
So bad at getting erect. That was the line. But yeah. Look, I'm just waiting. I'm looking forward to doing Bone. I just need you to read it. This is just a stopgap.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well.
Gotta figure out what we're doing next week, though. Give you another stopgap without adding additional research time or whatever. Maybe
It's
another movie episode.
Well, while I'm finishing Bone, we're going to talk about Exodus. So, actually, for me, that would be zero prep time. I've already read it.
Yeah.
Blew past that shit.
I have also read it before, but just it's been a little while.
You know what? I totally forgot. You've been trying this whole time. I see your plan now. You've been trying to make me forget we were going to do Exodus, and then I read it, and you didn't, and we never got back to it.
Yeah.
Wow. This whole time. Betrayed.
I have read it before.
Well,
I
yeah.
could do it without rereading it. Like, I vaguely remember enough. It wouldn't be as good, in my opinion, if I did. And also, it hasn't been what I wanted to talk about.
That makes fucking sense because it's garbage. Like, I also don't know if I'd want to talk about it now that I've read it. Now that the time has passed.
Wow. Those are harsh words.
I mean, the early Bible is a harsh piece of literature.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, I like Exodus is better than like Leviticus was. That's a slog.
Yeah. That's not even a story at that point.
Nope, it was not, and yet there I was. Ugh.
Read
Anyway.
the Bible in order.
The quest is not over. Not nearly.
Yeah. Oh, I do remember you mentioning on Pier 39, like, thinking, like, I mean, they can't be like this in the New Testament. And I'm just like, just wait. Just wait, Ben.
I mean, it's not as bad. It's not as bad, right? Please. I think it won't be.
I don't think your what you think the New Testament is accurate, I'll say. Based on what you were saying in that podcast. There's like Psalms.
Oh yeah.
Might be closer to what you think it is. But
No.
the parts of the New Testament that are still stories.
I mean, I know like it's like obviously it gets cherry picked, but like for talking about it in like a church service or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the one thing I think I've mentioned, the people love to
Paul.
talk about how the Israelite or the Hebrews got the the chosen land, like this is their land. I don't think I've ever heard it mentioned in a church service that they had to fucking slaughter the people who were already living there.
That was implied.
It was implied, yeah, okay. Of course. As you do.
Yeah. I will never get over the part of the Bible where they use circumcision as like a weapon, and then while everyone is icing their junk, they
fucking
murder
walk
all
in
of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a quality story.
I mean, that's an early banger.
And you know,
There's a lot. There's a lot there to be sad about, mostly.
But also, like, it's like for, you know, regular Jewish believers, that's just a, you know, it's a story. That's fine. For the way fucking Christians treat the Bible, that's wild. Really.
Yeah.
It's really that thing. It's the way that book gets held up. It's like anti-scrutiny.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever. But
Dude, I just
also
that's
feels like the point of so many religions.
yeah.
Like fly actually in the opposite of truth.
Yeah.
That makes it more powerful. That's like a test. If you worry about things like this being the opposite of the truth, then GTFO.
This one's not for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a podcast.
Yeah.
saltcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Salt Circle Pod on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Comic Panels. You can find our episodes at anchor.fm/saltcircle. And if you need any other information, it's in the show notes.
Yeah. It was.
Ben
it was a
doesn't
good time.
exist. He's
I
not
don't.
real.
I don't. I am. I'm actually recording. You think that it's natural responses, but I'm curating this entire thing from beyond this realm.
He's a deep fake. It's fine.
Yeah. More like a deep fuck. Yeah. 'Cause my dick is 4 feet long, totally flaccid, and whipping the shit out of stuff as I jog by.